Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Kel.
And we're going to talk today about the opening day of the playoffs. If you're new to us, thanks for joining in. And if you guys have been checking us out all along, thanks a lot for coming back. And we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today. We got a whole lot to cover. We got some news, some drama, of course, the playoff matches, which we're going to spend most of the time talking about that, because that's our main focus, the drama with Fissure and all that stuff. It's been done to death by now.
Right.
And you saw some of you guys saw some of my comments on Twitter. You know where I stand on that. But let's jump into the TV deal. I think that's bigger than Fissure.
Yeah, right, and now, honestly, a lot of people are not talking about it as much as I thought they would. People are just kind of shrugging it off, but this is a huge deal.
This is network TV.
Right, this is network TV. They're gonna bring so much more exposure to. They have 5 different networks that they said that they're going to putting these games on.
Yeah, so it's going to be and it's not just they're not burying it on the Ocho. They're putting it on ABC, ESPN1, ESPN2, and then they're live airing on Disney XD and ESPN3. Now, this just the first round, they're doing those two. And then they're going to move up to ESPN, ESPN2 for the next round. And then the finals are going to be rebroadcast on ABC. I know some of you guys don't understand some of that. That is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's also it's not even just gonna be TV. It's gonna be so much more exposure even around the internet. And then it's also gonna bring more coverage to as far as things like highlights and official things like that.
Yeah.
More analysis, all of that stuff. So it's gonna be massive.
Yeah, and for just esports in general, it's huge.
Yes.
It's, people can say what they want about, we're big sports fans, regular sports fans. I watch ESPN a lot, and ESPN2, a lot of their coverage is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
It's, mid-July baseball games between the Marlins and the fucking Orioles or something like that. Women's collegiate softball. Look.
Yeah, middle of the season baseball. You have a month before NFL starts. Most of the NBA drama has passed, so you have about 2 months where nothing's really happening. All the free agents, draft, all that's done. Summer League is barely a blip to most people. Yeah. So there's just nothing happening right now. So this is also perfect timing on their part, and I really do think that this was absolutely part of why we had the delay that we did. Because if they'd have started these playoffs right as the season, or if they'd have just done it right in line with the way the season ended, and then between stages, that time period, it would have been going on right after the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
or during the NBA Finals, and it's they're just not going to do that. That's not a smart business move.
No, it's not. They're calculated. They're smart. They know where they're going, and I mean,
the World Cup.
Yeah,
you forget about that too.
A lot of people were talking yesterday on Twitter about, not enough exposure and too much time in between. The only thing I had to say about that is okay, I like the break. If you want to, promote and, get the hype train going, put the All-Star game in the middle of it.
Yes, I agree. Definitely agree with that. I think that would have been the perfect time for it. And then it would have been better. Yeah, I feel like they should definitely do that next year. It's a huge deal. So let's move on. Just touch briefly onto the Fissure thing because it is a big deal.
It is because he's a massive personality in the league. I really didn't understand it at first. I still kind of don't.
Yeah, I don't really either. But at the same point, there's some things I understand about it. I think it's mostly the timing, and then also I've heard some other people bring up the point of Fissure was this great guy who came in and lifted this team up, and he did. I don't think that has changed at all, even in this circumstance. But I think what the biggest and best point that I've heard yet is that the meta currently, it's just not good for Fissure because he is too aggressive, and they need that team-oriented tank, and that's exactly what Remix did. And honestly, watching that game last night, that's exactly what he gave them, and he was phenomenal.
Oh, he was out of his fucking mind. He was great. And we'll touch more on that match in a minute, but yeah, I think some of the days of at least with this current patch they're running, the days of the psycho-aggressive tank are kind of out.
Yeah.
Especially with this meta they're running, because you have Brigitte and you have Hanzo with the Storm Arrow.
And Widowmaker.
So
tanks just get melted.
You just get mashed.
Yeah. And if you try to take on any more than one or two and leave yourself exposed, you're just in for a world of hurt.
Yeah. So, even to that point, like us with Fraggy, probably not the best thing after watching the matches. A more calculated player like Sato was the right move.
It was. As much as we were calling for Fraggy, but even his Reinhardt is just too aggressive for the way you have to play this meta effectively, it seems.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And then the other point with Fissure is, like, the other big talking point on it is that he was frustrated with the communication because he was one of the only people speaking Korean, and he didn't want to force the team to switch to all Korean because they all speak English and he's the only Korean person.
Right.
Or the only Korean speaker. So,
just say you want to go play for Seoul.
Yeah.
Just fucking say it, alright? Just say, I want to be on the Seoul Dynasty.
So, is Seoul going to be... Are they going to be the Warriors next year, basically? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So you're going to have Fissure go there. You're going to have probably Effect go there, or is it going to be more like that mid 2000s Lakers when Steve Nash and that whole disaster? Steve Nash and Dwight Howard.
Steve Nash before Dwight Howard, when they had fucking Karl Malone and Gary Payton. It's pretty much that. Their communication skill, it's going to be something else. What is Rascal going to go there too?
Right. I mean, they honestly could build a pretty solid team of these like rejected players. If they can find a coach that can wrangle those guys, they could be a pretty damn good team. Not gonna lie.
No.
But the current coaches of Seoul, they're not gonna be able to do shit.
No, I have no faith in that fucking crew at all.
No.
Okay, so let's hit the matches. So. First match of the night, Philadelphia came out, and, well, the one thing, a lot of the things we said kind of came to fruition with this match and the next match after that. Yeah. We kept saying, well, if EQO and Carpe do what they do, it's going to be a long day for Boston, but we both picked Boston.
Philly showed up, and honestly, we really shouldn't be all that surprised.
No.
Even with what we've been calling for, but at the same point, they still did half of what we've been saying, and they finally put Poco in.
Yes.
And hey, look what happens. You're all of a sudden doing really, really well because Poco's a fucking phenomenal off tank.
Yeah, and he made the All-Star team and didn't even play him in the second in the fourth stage.
Right, like that's how good he was. It only took 3 stages for him to get into the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And honestly, Hoppa showed that, man, that dude's got some freaking range on what he can play.
That was sick. I mean, they went on Volskaya where Boston had never lost.
Right.
Mind you, it was in 2 stages too. It wasn't like Eichenwald where it was in 1. They went in there and their win percentage was like 20%. Mm-hmm. They went in there and just smoked him.
Oh, they smashed him. It was absurd.
And fucking Hotba was just like on fire with Tracer, and that is an insane triple DPS, by the way.
Right. Yeah, when you've got Carpe, EQO, and Hoppa playing the way that he was, and then you're only running Neptuno on, like that just shows that Philly they've been hiding things. They've been holding some tricks up their sleeve, and now it's all coming out, and I'm super excited to see what else they pull out.
Yeah,
and that's what's been fun. Like, even though both of these games were kind of like one-sided affairs, they they've really showed some interesting new twists that we have not seen yet.
They did, and I'm liking this meta, not meta thing.
Yes.
What are they going to do next? Mm-hmm. And especially with the gladiators. Holy shit.
Right. So, yeah.
They pulled like the hidden ball trick, for Christ's sake.
God, they were just pulling out all kinds of new things, like things that we've not seen. Like they've already done the weird, we're going to have hydration play Doomfist and stuff like that, but no one has been
Shaz play May.
Right. Well, they had, and on Junkertown, they had Shaz play, he played Roadhog, he played Bastion, I believe in some other ones, he did play May.
He played a little bit of May, yeah.
It's ridiculous, and that dude's hero pool is crazy. I love it.
Shaz's hero pool is ridiculous. And it's like it's supports, and then it's all these weird, fucked up, off-meta shit that no one knows what to do with.
Yeah, and it's great. I love seeing that.
Yo, so do I. I love it when he busts out May. As soon as he comes out with May, I'm like, alright, this is gonna get fucking weird and cool.
It really is. Like, watching, like, what those guys can do with the walls, and when they're teaming up with her freeze, and then seeing some of their icicle shots. I can't wait to see with the May buff where her icicle shot isn't going to have the drop off. That's going to be gross with these guys. That game was phenomenal, and London, man, like, as great as the Gladiators looked, London looked as bad as they could have possibly been. Yeah,
and let's go back to the start of the season for a minute. Now, everyone said that Seoul and London were going to just wreak havoc on this league and not lose a game.
Right. So,
we're here right now, and London looks like total garbage. They are the fucking, in the NFL, they're the team that snuck into the wild card.
Yeah.
They're like the 2007 Browns.
Or, no, we didn't even make the playoffs.
Well, whatever that fucking year was where you guys made it in.
2003. Or, actually, even better, I feel like they're the Texans from like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
When they just got absolutely obliterated in the first round.
They're the Tebow Broncos.
They got in, and then they beat the freaking
They beat the Bengals.
Raiders. No, did they beat the Bengals, or did they beat the Raiders?
They beat the Bengals. The Raiders were in the playoffs for the first time in like 10 years last year.
That's right. Okay.
Trust me, I know.
They got smoked.
I keep tabs on the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, getting back to this, like, they freaking London, they just looked completely disorganized. Like, they just had no cohesion at all.
Well, and the thing is at the beginning of the match, alright, so on Junkertown, Bird Ring started going off, and I'm like, okay, London's here, they're playing, and then when it flipped to the Gladiators on attack, I just said, well, this game's over. And you know what?
You're like, okay, London had a good push, like that's pretty good start to it, and then as soon as you saw what the Gladiators were doing, you're like, oh, okay. They clearly didn't really care that much about defense, because they know they can do this on offense.
Yeah, look, we talk about coaching a lot on here because we're big conventional sport fans.
Mm-hmm.
You can say what you want about Bishop. They can say that they hated him. People can say he did whacked out shit. But you know what? When he was there, they were the best team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
When he left, they're mediocre at best. And they got totally tricked by like the baseball hidden ball trick.
They really did.
Well, no, I'm talking about on Kings Row.
Oh yeah, that too. Oh man, that was...
Dude, that whole thing was... I just loved it. Uber's like, what the fuck are they doing?
Like, oh, high ground. Oh,
high ground.
Just like Sherfo is just sitting in there,
sitting in the spawn.
He just switched to Widow. Oh! And then
bang, 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 done.
Ridiculous. And I just saw something on Reddit where Surefour talked about it, and he's like, we tried that 3 different times in scrims, and it never failed.
Yep. Hydration was... I read a thing, Hydration said the same thing. He was like, I was not down. And then we ran it in scrims, and no one knew what the fuck was going on.
Yep. They're like, where the fuck did they go? It was so good. And then at the same point, now that they know, like, how do you defend against that? You've gotta stop them from getting through that flank, obviously, but at the same point, like, if they get through right, like, how do you stop that?
And you got someone like Surefour who's got a godlike aim on Widowmaker. I mean, he took out all the supports, and I think he took out Gesture as well. He had a 3 kill on that. Basically, he got both supports in the main tank within a second.
It was absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was the best play.
Play of the year so far.
Benchmom tweeted out, he was like, that's the best play in Overwatch League so far. And I have to agree. That was... Absolutely. That was the most sneaky fucker little trick. Oh, and believe me, people are going to try that in fucking comp.
Oh, for sure. Alright, so now that we talked about those games, who do you got for tomorrow? Is there anything at this point that Boston can do?
I don't know. Philadelphia, they're so good under pressure, and I picked Boston because I was looking at the map thing. I think it was the 4 weeks and all that stuff where you're just like you're tricking yourself into believing into something that shouldn't happen. Right. I'm going Philly.
I feel like they end up just closing it out in the first game.
They beat Boston on their best map.
Right. Boston might take them to 5 in this first one, but I feel like Philly just ends up closing it and just finishing it off in that first game, and we'll call it early, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And even if it goes to the third match, I'm still going with Philly.
Yeah, same. And because Philly's they can just overwhelm them with such insane ability on their DPS and their tanks, everything. Yeah. They're absolutely devastating. Boston.
Their DPS
has no answer.
Their DPS's mechanical skill is off the fucking charts, man.
Right.
If they run at fucking EQO and Carpe on Hanzo and Widow again, just fucking call it a night because it's over.
I mean, that's going to be the majority of what we're going to see those guys playing, and it's unstoppable, especially for Boston. Like, they just don't have the firepower to take that down.
No. I mean, they had a couple of times on, like, Eichenwald, they looked okay. Mm-hmm. And, they were coming back, and it was mostly on the third point where they could run Junkrat and a couple other things, but Philly just is unstoppable in this meta. And New York better prepare for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really excited to see what bag of tricks New York is going to pull out, because they've been hiding stuff. They're going to pull out some wonky shit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I can't wait.
Jonak is just going to say fuck it and go Widowmaker. I don't know.
Right. So, and then Saturday, who do you got to finish off that series?
I can't fucking go with the Spitfire.
Yeah,
no.
The Gladiators are just too good, especially with how well iRemix played. And then the rest of the team, I have no reason to doubt them at this point.
No, and London's too calculated and too rigid.
Yeah.
In what they do, and they can't handle what the Gladiators do, which is total fucking. We're gonna do something screwed up. Yeah, it's like when teams play a team that runs like the 46 defense in football, and they have different guys blitzing, and you have defensive linemen dropping back, and you have safeties coming in and playing fucking on the line. They can't handle it.
Exactly.
They can't handle the chaos before everything starts.
Mm-hmm. And that's a phenomenal analogy. Like that just crazy defense where you're just like, I don't know who's gonna drop back into coverage. You got the freaking entire backfield is on the front line right now.
Yeah. And then the two defensive linemen drop back.
Right. Just some really crazy stuff. Like, that's basically what the Gladiators are doing.
Yeah.
There's ways to take advantage of that, but I don't think any other team can really do that until they play either New York or and maybe I don't know. The Valiant might have a hard time taking advantage of that as well.
The Valiant will be the team that can handle it. But like I don't want to say better.
Yeah,
they do more of the same shit as them, so it'd be kind of mirrored.
True, because
they really have the same, like, you have agility is doing what hydration does. You know what I mean? It kind of plays out the same way. New York will figure something out. They'll just start fucking killing people.
Yeah, I cannot wait for these playoffs to keep going. Like,
oh yeah,
because it's only going to get more and more intense as we go on, and more weird strategies start working. And
I want to watch.
I'm super excited.
I want to watch Libero play some fucking Hanzo.
Yes, cannot wait.
Words 6 months ago you never hear come out of my mouth.
Right,
Libero and Hanzo. Mostly Hanzo.
Yeah, right.
But it's going to be fun, and then we're potentially building up to a Battle of LA for a semifinal.
Sixth time.
Oh,
I can't.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be too good.
Amazing. And I have faith in Philadelphia.
I do too. At this point, after that performance, I have no reason to doubt that they're going to be able to move on from this, and that they could really give New York some fits. Yeah, they could. And you know what? I'm not taking anything away from Boston here, because they had a lot of adversity in stage 3 and they went 10-0. Right. They're not a bad team. Guys, in case you haven't, if you joined into our channel late, we picked Boston to be in this position before the season started. So that was with the douchebag that did whatever he did. Anyway. Yeah. Initially. But we saw the potential for this team to grow and to, get into the playoffs. It's just right now, they can't handle what Philadelphia is throwing at them. Right. And that's pretty much EQO and Carpe just absolutely fucking destroying everything in their way. And that's the thing with this team is, like, just, I feel like a few minor tweaks, you put one really solid DPS alongside striker, that's a completely different team. Oh, yeah. You get another playmaking DPS on that team, and they're going to be absolutely disgusting. Yeah. And it's not like Mistakes is bad. It's they need the solid projectile guy. Yes. And Mistakes is your fill-in guy where, he plays like some of the on some of the maps where, you need a Sombra or you need some of the other things, which is what he was doing before when they were, really doing well at the end of stage 2. Right. And it was working out great. Yeah. But, he got thrown into something that he probably wasn't comfortable with. But you know what? He's a really good player, and I'm not knocking him at all. Oh, not at all. No, and it's really not his fault. Like, he got put into a position where no one was expecting it, and he performed as best as he could, and he's done a really great job. It's just not quite enough to be brutally take them all away. To be brutally honest, he fucking did everything he could yesterday. Right. And he was great. It's just, you can't stop Carpe and EQO. Yeah, and they are too good, especially, like, Carpe, he cannot be a human being. Like, he's a fucking robot. Yeah. He really is. He's Ichiro. Yeah. He's the Ichiro of the fucking Overwatch League.
You can't pitch that guy. Just like Carpe, you can't. He's disgusting. And honestly, EQO is equally scary.
Oh, really is.
He was fucking crazy. So insane on fucking Hanzo. It was ridiculous. and then there are the maps where he plays fucking Pharah, and they can't. Nobody can handle it right now because they're all running the non-hit scan DPS shit, other than Widow. Because I'm sorry, Pharah versus Hanzo, it's Pharah every day, all day long. All right, all right, guys. So that's gonna be it for this episode. You know what? We're going to hit you on Saturday night. Probably we're going to do a Discord. So if you guys want to join in on that, please join us. And for everyone that's been listening through the whole season and all that, thanks a lot. And don't forget to like, hit subscribe, and join us on social media. I'm sure I'll be on there fucking screaming about shit like I did last night. Mostly my hatred for London now because I picked them and they were fucking bullshit. Anyway. Anyway, guys. You guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you on the next one.
Later, guys.